What in tarnation?
What's going on, Javier?
What's up? Good. Oh, look at that. It's all put together.
Yeah, she's just ready to work out a few little bugs.
It's in the back. I see you're working on the quarter panels.
Yeah.
Man, that's nice. All metal, no fiberglass bitch stuff.
Fiberglass here.
Yeah, no fiberglass here. This is all metal, baby. Yeah. Whew. Better a little closer view. Anyway, so guys, this is Jimmy right here.
What's up, everybody?
And this is hatchback, EF hatchback. So do me a favor, so I don't murder it out. Tell me a bit about your car.
All right, this is a 91 DX hatchback. Well, it's two 91 DX hatchbacks. What I did was I cut the front off of my donor car to weld all of the engine mounting points into the back. Just took the gas tank out, gutted the rear, welded the front end of the car in the rear to get the motor in there. I took my second donor car and cut the quarter panels off to make the wide body. That's about it. The motor is just made out of, it's about 6 different engines.
A lot of spare parts.
You know, back in the day, everybody was pulling these out and doing motor swaps. It was the B-Series craze, and these things were just laying around everywhere. So I took them all apart, took the best parts from, 6 or 7 of them, made one engine. It was an easy way to just have something to play with, buying gaskets. You're not buying expensive stuff. For a couple $100 you could put a motor together. And just recently I put some throttle bodies on it. Those are from a CBR 1000. And we're gonna try to get it to run on them now. I got it idle, but the fuel map is
A little off.
yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, so this one we're running the Honda S300. Again, This is a race car for race car purposes only.
Race
make
car,
sure,
yeah.
Make sure the EPA knows that.
Yeah, I'm building a track car.
This is a track car.
Building a track car.
She is extremely wide. That is why. I mean, I'll just show right here.
Yeah, it's
We added how many inches here?
Well, there's 4 on either side. It's 6 inches wider in the front and 8 inches wider in the back.
And those are 15 by
15 by 10s with a 245 40 15 on it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll probably go a little wider when I'm done, but these are just development purposes only, so I can drive it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Work out the bugs, stuff like that. You want to check out the interior?
Yeah, let's check out the inside, and we'll even take a look at your fueling here as well. Hey, the engine's gone. No, I'm kidding. All right. So we got our fuel cell set up in the front. There's fuel pump, battery. And I love how you ended up doing this clutch setup here. So you went hydraulic on the transmission, right?
No, it's still a cable transmission. It's still all the original 91 cable parts. So I just did a conversion here from cable to hydro. And then that takes the power to the back. And then the rear I just built a bracket to actuate you can barely see it, but it's still a cable transmission. It's just actuated with a hydraulic slave cylinder.
Oh, very smart. Okay. So basically you're still using a cable transmission.
Yeah, it's just actuated with a hydraulic slave cylinder.
And I'm gonna try to zoom the camera in there a little bit, see if I can actually catch it here.
I just built a bracket there to
very cool. Hey, that's what I'm talking about right there. Just use what you got.
Well, that was the point. It was like, just use all the spare parts that are laying around and try to spend as little money as possible. At this point, because this isn't the end game. The end game is a completely different engine. But I wanted something to play with while I'm working on the car, while I'm doing the body work. It's something that I didn't have to worry about, and then once it gets to the point where I paint it, you know, then I can put the end game engine in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Now on this particular single cam, it's was this a A1 originally? You used
A6.
So this is the
Yep.
D16 A6,
Yep.
the non-VTEC A6. Now you replaced the crank on this, right?
Yep, it's got an 01 D17 crank, rods, and oil pump. So it's stroked to it's a D16 block with a D17 stroke. It's about 12.5 to 13 to 1. You know, my math's a little crude. I don't measure too well, but the best I can figure, it's somewhere around 12.5 or maybe a little more to 1 compression. The piston, because I put it together with junk parts, the piston is still the piston for an A6, so the piston pin height is different. And without buying new pistons, you know, so I wanted to use the A6 pistons. I end up with the piston coming out of the cylinder about 2 millimeters,
okay,
which is what brings the compression up. So not only does it have a little more stroke, but the piston pin height is the stock height of the A6, which is about 2 millimeters. I think it's like, I don't know what the numbers are, but they're different between years. So the piston comes out of the hole about 2 millimeters. So I had to cut away the combustion chamber to fit the piston, so there wouldn't be any contact.
Okay.
So it comes, the piston, even with the head gasket on it, it still comes over the head gasket about 1 millimeter. So
okay,
the piston is well into the combustion chamber.
Nice. So it's definitely it is a factory high comp.
Yeah.
This is a true factory high comp.
Yeah,
all factory parts.
These are all all the internal parts are factory. Yeah. There's a few parts that aren't factory, and that would just be the intake manifold that I cut up in order to mount the throttle bodies and the header.
Yeah. So this was a. This is one of those manifolds. What I heard you call it earlier, something else. It's made out of what?
It was a Chinesium manifold. Yeah.
It's made out of Chinesium.
Yeah. This was an OBXR knockoff Chinesium manifold that I cut the plenum off of. You know, so I could mount. I just took some couplers to adapt the throttle bodies and put some K-series injectors in it. Figured I'd need a little more injector because there's actually 100% increase in cross-sectional area between the 60 millimeter throttle body I had before and these 42 millimeter throttle bodies. So if you do the math and figure the cross-sectional area of those throttle bodies, it's actually 100%. It's exactly twice, give or take a percent, twice the surface area. So we got 100% more air available.
Yeah.
Got a Delta regrind cam, K-series injectors.
Just a bunch of OEM parts for the most. For most of it's OEM. Hell, even the throttle bodies came out of a Honda. It was a motorcycle, but it was a Honda.
Yeah, this is a factory Honda CBR 1000. It's got the exact same air intake temperature sensor from 1988 to 2020.
All the same.
This is the same air intake sensor forever.
Now,
this is the original plug from 91, and that's the 05.
Now, don't mind any of the wiring stuff. Of course, this is not a complete vehicle. This is still in the build process. Yeah. This is all in R&D. Yeah. So it's all R&D stuff right now. It's trial and error.
Put some loom on it one day.
Yeah. One day it'll be loomed up and ready to go. I know you have to extend the engine harness and make it all the way to the front and pump all that there.
Yeah, I've got probably 100 solder connections in my harness, and amazingly it works flawlessly. Yeah. I spent a lot of time soldering, didn't want to make any connections that weren't soldered.
Yeah. Now, another thing that's pretty cool, I remember when you were doing this, was your shift assembly. Mm-hmm. The way you did it, because of course you know that all your B and D series transmissions are a rod type shifting.
Right. Yeah. So what I did was I converted, I cable shifted it, but I made a mechanism to cable shift it. I got an 06 Honda Accord shift box. First gear, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse.
Very cool. And you designed that? You designed that yourself, just in your head.
Yeah, some scrap metal, little pieces of scrap metal, and some
boat cables and
the shifter cables are boat control cables. It's the best way to go.
For the money, you can't beat it.
I mean, they're actually really high quality, and for the price, I mean they're marine grade. Everything's stainless and brass. High quality.
It's made to be able to handle the elements.
Yeah, made to be able to. For sure.
All right, and just right now, just for spark, running a little supplemental MSD on there with the old school type cap.
Yeah.
So, see this just a little catch can you made right here, just temporarily. See how we look there. Of course, this intercooler's not being used at the moment. That is for the future.
Right. That was just I just haven't taken it out after I figured out how
mocked it up.
I didn't have any shelf room at the time.
Keep it in there and don't worry about it.
Right there, yeah. Now that I'm moved into this house, I can take it out, put it on the shelf.
So, although, everybody's like, yeah, I'm sure people in the comments are going to be like, yeah, put a K-Series in it, put a K-Series in it. And, that could be the end game. We don't know. Like I said, right now, everything's come out of this man's head. The body styling, the suspension. Actually, he's running Fortunato coilovers on this thing, so it's made to handle.
Yeah.
It's definitely made to handle.
It's brand new. All the wheel bearings, brakes, joints, every ball joint, radius rod, heim joint, every single part underneath it is brand new. It's definitely made to handle. Yeah. The end game right now is a J series, but I'm having second thoughts just because, the aftermarket support and what they're capable of. They don't have cam timing advancement. Like K series, they don't have the aftermarket support like the K series.
Right. And that's the thing. You're a frugal man, regardless of what's been put into it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spend a lot of money. I'm not trying to spend a little money, but you can only put so big of a cam in a J series,
right?
Because it's a closed head design. So they're just limited. Because of those things. So,
but as of right now, it's still up in the air. It could end up being a J later on. It could be a turbo single cam. It could be a K swap.
Right, they're becoming popular, and 10 years ago there wasn't any support for them, and now you can get a few parts, a few aftermarket parts for them. Yeah. And I'm
playing it by ear.
Yeah. I just like to have fun. I like to build things. And this car's in, I don't know, phase 8 or 9. It's had several motors in the front of it. It's been turbocharged. It's been autocrossed. It's been through a lot, and just continuing the fun. Yeah. Really.
And like I said, he does like building stuff. Like you see that nice little big kid 3-wheel right there. Yeah. The big wheel. Yeah. With a little turbo on it, had a pull-through carburetor set up prior, and then if you notice his other build over here, he's got a picnic table that drives. You drive your own damn picnic table wherever you want to go. You can go on a picnic, go to the park, and you don't have a table, take your own. You can drive there on it. So this one's is that a Briggs & Stratton or is it also a Honda motor?
It's one of those Chinesium Hondas.
Chinesium Hondanium.
From Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, but they're actually pretty good.
That's crazy.
Took the basic Honda design and went with it, so they work pretty good.
That is pretty cool. And just got a little gearbox set up with drive right there. And then you have actual hydraulic for brakes.
Yep, that's a Toyota Corolla master cylinder or something like that.
And it's got the handbrake right there.
Yeah, the handbrake.
Then your steering. This is freaking awesome, guys. You'll have to take a ride in this one day. Yeah. Right now we're in September, so it's getting closer more to winter, but it is Florida. You never know. We'll see.
Use this anytime.
Anytime.
Oh,
yeah, this is pretty cool. And then the axles that you used on it.
The front axle is a Jeep Wrangler axle. A buddy of mine did a Rubicon axle swap on his Jeep and had the old axles laying in the dirt, and I thought, what could I do with that? And this is what I come up with.
And it's got shocks for the fat kids sitting in the back.
Yeah. The rear is a car dolly that's been cut down. So it was the frame's made from a Jeep axle and a car dolly. You know, so it does have some form of suspension. It's not suspended in the front, but the rear articulates just to keep all 4 tires on the ground at all the time.
And it's definitely picnic on the go because you have your own grill.
Yep.
You have your own grill and your own cooler location right there.
Yeah, the cooler. Sorry, I got that piece. The cooler's accessible from the top.
Oh, and a bottle opener.
Yep, bottle opener in the cooler. Gotta have that. There's an umbrella that goes on it, slides in there.
Sweet.
Yeah, the steering is made from, I use a rack and pinion out of a golf cart. It's a rack and pinion golf cart steering that goes down and turns the Jeep axle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is a strut tower bar, eBay strut tower bar for a Honda, turned into a brake lever. And yeah, that's about it. Go-kart sprockets and go-kart motor and good to go.
Fuck yeah. This is pretty cool. Yeah, we'll have to take this thing for a ride one day.
Yep.
But today we're gonna check out the Honda. We're gonna, I guess, get her started up, get her up to temp, and then we'll play with the field map just a little bit, try to get some revs out of it.
All right, let's fire it up.
Yeah.
See what we can do.
A little too much speed. Take a minute, get a heat up. Right now she's running pretty fat. We're gonna go get that cleaned up real quick. And yeah, let me get this laptop started. Got lost playing around with the software. Doing a little cleanup on the fuel. But give it just a little rev for us. Now she's running a little, still running a little rich. We're playing around with a different distributor on there, checking our timing. We're right now, let me go ahead and log this real quick, see where we're at here. So, yeah, right now with the 310s, it's running a little fat with this dwell. So we're gonna change that here shortly. But anyway, I gotta go get some dinner for the old lady. You got stuff we gotta do, so we're gonna cut it a little short today and take it over another day. But she's getting our idle target, idle air fuel is getting close to where we want to be. So we always want to have it somewhere in the 15s at idle. I don't like it too close to the number 14.7. So, all right, guys, we'll be bringing more on this car later on. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hell, give us a couple comments. Tell us what you think. What should he go J swap on this? Should he go K swap? I don't know. It's his car, but I mean, let's make a poll, see what it says. You tell me what you think. What is it?
Send me some parts.
Yeah. Send him in some parts. If you got some parts you want to donate to the cause, you already know this man. He's been for a couple years now putting this thing together out of spare parts, spare pieces everywhere, going as low budget as possible. So yeah, if you guys like the content with this, you want to support the project, hit me up on the channel, subscribe, and hit me up in the comments. We'll get you set up. I actually got a website coming up pretty soon just for Fast TV, so you'll be able to see a lot more stuff on there. All right, guys, till the next one. Peace out.